Hello everyone, welcome back to another lightsaber review. Today we're going to be looking at this brand new acquisition of mine, which just arrived yesterday. It is the Magic of Myth FX Cave Hero by Veracity Labs, a collaboration between three guys, Luke ROTJ of 7Chambers in the UK, Adam Days and Brian Rogers in the US. And the three of them have really done a lot of research over the last year or so of the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi lightsaber as it appeared in the movie, or rather in that specific scene on the cave in Tatooine, which was a deleted scene on the Blu-ray. And this is its kind of official iteration of the hero. There's been various versions of it. I don't know if a lot of you know the history of this lightsaber. It's gone through many different versions. There's obviously the V2, which I've reviewed in the past. This is the lightsaber that actually Luke has in his hand in most of the movie. But if you look at this, it's nothing like what you would picture when you think of Luke's green lightsaber. This is something like what you would picture. With the box and the arrows here and the golden copper neck or copper thin neck up there. It looks really different to this one. Well, funnily enough, this is the one that's in most of Return of the Jedi. This is not. This is in a couple of shots. Anyway, don't worry about this one. I've just used this for demonstration. This is actually the Last Jedi version. It's also a little bit. It's a modification of this basically. But forget all that. We don't want to get bogged down into the lineage and everything. So this is basically the Luke Return of the Jedi official lightsaber as it stands today, the hero. You can see it very clearly in the deleted scene in the Blu-ray. He's sitting in a cave in Tatooine and he's just kind of fixing it, and he's got the board up and he's fiddling with it, and you can see the blinking lights, and then he closes it and lights it up. So let's have a look. This is the Elite version. They have two versions of this, a standard and an Elite. Elite comes with many more kind of parts and options. So I went for that one. So very nicely boxed. I've already tinkered with it a little bit, so I'll just show you quickly. So first we'll look at the lightsaber itself and some of the, I'll explain what these other parts are. So it's impossibly accurate. I mean, they have done research on the RPF down to this thing, which they've noticed in some of the old photographs, which is nothing. I mean, it's a dimple of something, but they went ahead and did that too, just to be 100% accurate. Here, the grub screw on the nipple. The thin neck, they have three different versions of this, so you can swap as you like. All this is very easily taken apart. So I've gone with a copper one for now. They also have a bronze and aluminium, but the most accurate version is painted aluminium. But I've ordered some paint, but it hasn't arrived yet. You can see here that emitter on Return of the Jedi was flat and plain, whereas on The Last Jedi they put those vents in them to mimic Obi-Wan's, so it is a little different to that one. Got the grenade section here. They have two different grenades. I'll just quickly show you the difference while we're at it. So the one I'm holding here in my left hand and in the saber is called the cannon grenade, and the one that's optional is the idealized grenade. And what that means is that this is the dimensions of the grenade. The screen accurate ones are this, and if you look at them closely, they don't match the rings. Some of them are very fat, and look at the ones down here. They're really thin. That one, and that one. So they're mismatched. On idealized versions, they're all equal. Idealized means basically if you buy like a toy or a replica of this saber from most vendors, from toy shops or whatever, even this one, which is a Roman props, is almost always just going to be machined as equal length. Well, they've gone one step further and done the cannon, which is a completely screen accurate look. Yeah, moving down here, this clamp card I had to sand down and install yesterday. They also have two versions of this faceplate. Again, Canon and Idealized. I'm not sure what the difference is. Something with the alignment of the screws, I think. Yeah, that needs to be painted, and that needs to be painted as well. I'm gonna just slide this off and show you what else this saber can do. Just bear with me because it's quite stiff. Okay, so this clamp card, I think they got it from Sloth Furnace, and it is 100% accurate. It's blue. If you can see, I'll try to focus it as best as I can. So I'm not sure how well you can tell, but it's not black. It's blue. It's a really, really beautiful and interesting color. So I had to sand down the sides a bit to make it fit. But that's not a problem. It didn't take very long. Now, the additional thing that they will do, they will send us these parts later, is they are going to have a circuit board right here, which looks exactly like that scene on Tatooine. So you can, it will look just like, you know, when you slide this off, there will be a circuit board underneath, just like when Luke was like fiddling with this, still kind of assembling it. It will look just like that, and underneath that you can have your actual circuit board for any electronics that you want to install. I think these are probably going to function as the power and auxiliary, most likely. I'm not sure, but there seems to be two switches in there. And inside is where you would run your soundboard. And obviously you'd want to install something to light up these two. As some minor kind of machining marks here and there, but I'll try to buff it and clean it up later. The tri-ring wasn't on, it came loose, I had to put it on, so that, you know, that's not a problem. You could do that with a pair of pliers. Pommel cubes, and of course pommel, and they have several different versions of this too, which I'll go through as well. Just a quick side-by-side very quickly with the Roman Props Balance V4, which is based off The Last Jedi. So like I said, first of all, the emitters are different. This one has the vented holes in my right hand here, the TLJ one. That one has a, well, that's a copper and it's just tarnished over time, so it will be the same as that. And it's more accurate for TLJ, but not for Return of the Jedi. The box is also a little different. That has much bigger arrowheads. And the rails are different too. Notice how they're sort of straight on The Last Jedi, and they're stepped on Return of the Jedi. Also, the color here is different. It's black and gold, as opposed to like blue and gold. But the main difference, I think, is down here. You see that tri-ring there? It's not aligned. Over here, it points almost right towards the box. Over here, for some reason, it's to the side. And the pommel cubes are different. They're a different size and a different shape. I mean, there are very subtle differences, but you know, if you're a fan of this hilt and you like to collect all versions, it's great. But you know, you don't have to buy them all. They're not like a glaring difference like the V2, for example. Okay, so I'll move on to just some of the other parts that are in the box. Just to explain what else you would get with the if you order the Elite kit. Okay, so in addition to this static pommel, you can also get these two vented pommels for sound. That one is like a classic kind of venting. This one is more hidden, so there's venting inside here. But it also kind of almost looks like a static, so this is a really good option that I'll be using for when I install it eventually. As I said, you get several wind vanes for the thin neck here. So the one I've got on the moment is the copper, and I've got copper on the secondary one too. But they have bronze, and they have two of each. So 2 bronze and 2 aluminium, which these will be the most accurate ones if you paint them to the right shade of it, because it's almost like an off orange if you look at the pictures of it. So it's not supposed to look like this kind of metallic. Not unlike the Last Jedi, it needs to be like almost a matte finish, a matte orange almost, a dark orange, and that's a hard color to achieve, so I'll have to mix a couple of shades of paint and experiment with these. But yeah, you don't, I mean, obviously if these are beautiful too, bronze, very nice, kind of yellowish, and you know, the copper is more kind of a classical look, like the more idealized versions, I would say. All the replicas tend to be copper, but that will get darker in time. It will become like this, which also looks quite good in my opinion. They have these cups for the either LED. They have 2 of each, so these two I think are for regular LEDs, and the 2 that are already inside here are for NeoPixel, or the other way around, I'm not sure. Anyway, there's 2 for LEDs and 2 for NeoPixel. I'll just show you on this one. So if I take that emitter off, yeah, that cup here, that's what houses the LEDs and stuff. Yeah, emitters, you get again 1 here for a blade, and you get another one that's a different size. So there's one that accommodates a 1-inch blade and one that accommodates a 7/8 inch blade. And this is obviously the static emitter. That is just one piece. So very easy to hot swap. Okay, what else have we got? I think that's about it. I'm missing a couple of parts which I've emailed Lewis about. He said he'll send them out. There's a 7/8 inch adapter as well. If you have a 7/8 inch blade, that's not a problem. So this can basically accept 1 inch or 7/8 inch, and there'll be a blade adapter that comes with it. So you can, in theory, have it like this as a static, and then just unscrew this and put this on, and make it like an FX. So you have everything complete in one kit. You can have it as accurate as you want to look. You can go with a choice of brass, of copper, of painted aluminium, your choice. You have parts for 7/8, you have part for 1 inch, you can do NeoPixel, you can do RGB. You know, it's a really, really complete set. You know, you rarely get, when you buy Luke Skywalker there's always going to be something missing. You're always going to have to kind of tailor it around a specific setup, whereas this seems to be more kind of universal. So it's very, very good, and the selling point of this really is going to be the reveal board, which they're still producing. They already did them, but they said they weren't too happy with the quality control, so they pulled them, and they're going to send them out for every one of us very, very soon, hopefully. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the craftsmanship on this is just beautiful, and the work and amount of research that they put into this. If you've been on the RPF or on the Facebook groups, you'll just see how much these three guys have researched this. It's like they've researched it in their sleep or something. It's amazing, really, what they've come up with. Unfortunately, this is now sold out. However, they will do another run of this in the future. And they also will have a run of static ones, which are purely for display, which hopefully should be a little bit cheaper because they won't have all these parts. But I mean, this wasn't too expensive. I think it was here in the UK, I think it was something like £275. I can't quite remember the exact figure, but it's somewhere between 200 and 300 pounds. So that really wasn't much. It was very, very good for such a quality saber. I think I'll leave it at that for today, because this was, this is still a work in progress. I still have to paint, as I said, the wind vane. I still have to paint these rails. That needs to match the color of the wind vane, and that down here needs to be a dark gray. I still have to put the reveal board. I want to install it. This tri-ring needs to be darker, it needs to be black. So there's a few things that are still not quite there yet, but I was just very excited, and I wanted to review it as quickly as possible and get it out there. I'll put some links in the description for Veracity Labs and for the Facebook groups that you go on if you're interested in this. And yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to ask. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.